Oh, oh. And we are live. Welcome to another episode of Ace in the Hole. Episode 8. We have a doozy. Whatchamacallit. Yeah, I'll take a little bit of time to just kind of breathe in, breathe out, try and take in all the information we got. But whatchamacallit. We have a lot of stuff going on as far as this week is concerned. Many things have taken place. Stuff with, for instance, Captain America 4 teaser trailer, The Acolyte episode 7, and Leslie Headland trying to explain away some of her or what do they call it, plot holes, right, that have happened in her show. And then lastly, we will discuss Saturday's attempt of a possible assassination on Donald Trump at a rally in Pennsylvania. Yeah, many things to go over, but I don't know. Probably won't make this one as long as I usually do, because, well, it's late. I'm a little tired and kind of want to get to playing some games. Probably will play Skyrim later. We'll see. But whatchamacallit. Yeah, let's just jump right into it. Let me see what. Oh, oh. Yeah, let's see what we got going on today in the fucking headlines. Oh yeah, so apparently fitness guru Simon Simmons has died. Whatchamacallit. And then again, some things going on with Biden. Luckily, it seems like Biden actually has condemned the attack on Trump, so that's a surprise. But good on him for actually pulling that part in. But let's go in deeper to more things at hand right here. Now, I'm probably only going to go through still images because Lord knows that sometimes Disney and Marvel will copyright some things. For some reason, with the Deadpool thing, Fox was very much more at hand of censoring or getting people to not be able to react to the full footage. So, as a precaution, I'm not going to really go too heavily on that same front, but we definitely have some things to go over here. I'll be playing it at intervals about like 30 seconds, like I did in my video, just to be able to react to what's going on to the trailer. So let's take a listen for everybody's enjoyable eyes.
Wilson. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look.
They said lose the mustache or lose the election.
Again, it's kind of a little joke jab at the fact that General Ross is being recast for Harrison Ford, where unfortunately they could not do the same due diligence back with T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, where he even had said, please continue my legacy, continue the character because he deserves to be represented and be in the films and other things like that. But instead, Marvel was like, you know what? We're going to capitalize on your death and make this movie more so about that instead of honoring someone's wishes upon death, right? Of what should happen. And if they would have gone about that way, as they are doing with this character, then we would still have T'Challa in the MCU. We'd be able to see his character move forward. We wouldn't have had Black Panther Wakanda Forever play out the way that it did, right? We would still have T'Challa in the main spotlight for the MCU. But here we have a seemingly reverse of said roles. Oh, goddamn! Fuck this goddamn yawning. But yeah, they didn't really do it justice in my opinion. When it comes to General Ross, unfortunate that we lost the actor that did play him, but yeah, it my bigger issue with this whole movie is, well, for one, the 85 80% 80% of reshoots that they had to do for the whole film, which is basically having to redo a whole film entirely. So the budget is already ballooned way past that it had to. And then the other thing you have to take into account is, well, how are they trying to frame this movie? How does it fall in line with what we've gotten from Falcon and the Winter Soldier and other previous MCU films? Um, See later on, a little hard to tell, but they do have a setting in this film that seemingly takes place around the giant golden celestial hand and head that is sticking out of the water, but has not been addressed since the Eternals. Um, so good that we're finally getting some more representation of that, but I feel like it might be a little bit too late for that. So let's just keep going on with the video and dissect from more there.
You and I haven't always agreed in the past, but I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position.
And if we disagree on how to manage this situation, then what happens?
Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward.
All right. So even at this point, you kind of saw a few other characters. I think one of them there was Sabra. I believe it was that chick you kind of got a little glimpse of in the beginning footage right there. And again, she's already controversial for some people in the Middle East and some in the U.S., where they're already being like, well, we're going to boycott this film because you're representing an Israeli superhero, which caused a lot of pain to Palestinians. So it's like, okay, I can understand your pain, but for a lot of other people, this was an established character written in the golden ages. She's not even being portrayed in the same fucking costume that she had. She doesn't have the Star of David on her, at least as far as we can tell right now. And she's not being put in the costume of the white and blue. So, I can't necessarily, this is a one for one replication of that. Uh, oh, Jesus Christ. Another thing is that it makes it very clear in this little teaser trailer that General Ross is very much opposed to Captain America, not Steve Rogers, Sam Wilson, disobeying the orders of the governing system that is in place, right? And even though Steve Rogers did do that, and he also still technically did abide by general laws of the United Nations, things like that. Um, it's being put in place, represented that Sam Wilson is not going to take the same kind of stance as Steve Rogers. Even though he might be similar, he's not going to be exactly the same. So, just a few things to kind of take note of. Let's keep going.
Sir, your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that, or you don't want to. What if it's a trap?
Global power is shifting. You're just a pawn.
All right, so from there on, uh, again, a little bit too close to home with some of the stuff that is being portrayed in this, right? You got the assassination attempt of President Ross in the film and fails. It also seemingly looks like, for some reason, Sam Wilson is being targeted and persecuted in this moment where he jumps out of the White House window. So, oh, yeah, it's a little bit muddy, not gonna lie. Some other key things to take away Up until this point, I believe that maybe whatchamacallit. What is his name? The guy who was in Breaking Bad and also in The Boys, the villain, the main CEO guy from for Vought. God, I can't remember his name at the top of my head, but he's in this film as well, using a rifle and things like that. So at this point, we don't know if he's targeting Ross, if he's targeting Sam Wilson. My thing would probably be targeting Sam Wilson because I'm sure a lot of people understand how weak he is or may see how weak he is because he's not Steve Rogers. And even then, we know for a fact that Sam Wilson denied the super soldier serum because he just wants to be himself. Um, the thing that causes issue with is how are you able to be on the same level as certain superhero or supervillain characters that have increased strength, durability, stamina, um, power. How are you able to fight against these same foes where it was believable with Captain America, Steve Rogers could do this because with the super soldier serum, it gave him a buff to all his regular stats, if you want to put it that way. And you even see him, even for a little bit, being able to hold off Thanos in Endgame, right? Where he's pushing up against Thanos' glove. Now, whether this is just a little part of hubris in Thanos where he's kind of impressed with like, oh shit, there's a human actually trying to stop me and he's not doing too shabby. Don't know because we never really got full context of whether Thanos actually did just, was caught off guard by this human's valor and willingness to sacrifice himself, or if this was a, a feat, a power feat of Steve Rogers being able to hold off Thanos for even a few seconds, right? Because for a lot of people, obviously, they look very highly to Captain America, Steve Rogers, in a very good light, where we don't expect him to do things morally gray and just allow allowing innocents to die for him. Right? He doesn't believe in sacrificing others for himself. No, let's keep moving. Okay, you got a good look at that guy right there.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
Yep, we know you're not Steve Rogers, but then even here at this point, um, so it does look like the guy who, former CEO
Right.
of Vought.
I'm not.
And again, it's good that he doesn't say, you know, I'm better than Steve Rogers or whatever. Like, okay, good. I'm glad you're not going that route because I think Sam Wilson definitely understood his importance, how he could probably never match the same level of importance, self sacrifice, and other attributing attributes to Steve Rogers that he has, right? Sam Wilson is a very different character. He has different morals, he has different beliefs. So that's going to be a differentiating impact on what he causes to society. Um, and as we'll see in this last portion, you see him fight up against someone that, well, for one, what causes General Ross to become the Red Hulk. In the comics, it's the power cosmics and also radiation that infuses with him to make him the way that he is. But how would we get that in this film? I don't know. I just don't know. Oh, oh, wait, no. And there you go. That's all we get for the teaser trailer, which, to be fair, that's quite a bit for a teaser trailer. Most times teaser trailers are about like 30 seconds to 40 seconds long. This one was basically a minute 48. So they had a lot more to show. Yes, they did just recently have reshoots. I think they're still filming some of the reshoots, but still, taking all that into account, pretty impressive, pretty crazy on how quickly they were able to roll it out and get people to see what possibly is happening. I am wondering what some of this stuff says. Uh, bu- 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 Tom Holland can't make jokes anymore. Anthony Mackie finally has his own movie. You're not Steve Rogers, and you're not William Hurt. That's pretty good. I like the part where Sam being almost overpowered by two soldiers. It makes us remember that Steve was a super enhanced soldier. Sam is just a regular human. I mean that should also kind of point out that I don't really see how he could handle such powerful threats if he's just basically a regular human or a regular human with just a little bit more capabilities as far as like strength is concerned. He's yeah, fucking Sam Wilson is no demigod. At least with Steve Rogers, we could believe that because the super soldier serum. But with Sam Wilson, I don't know about that. Right? It's just no. His name's Sam. Oh my god, Red Hulk, you're not Steve Rogers, Sam. My name is Clarence. Fucking the thing taken out from 8 Mile, and a lot of people just fucking pointing out the fucking funny thing of it. You're not Steve Rogers, and you're not Bruce Banner. Crazy how a presidential assassination attempt is depicted in this teaser, and we just had one a few hours ago. Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. Is like, it's well, no, he's in the movie. General Ross is the president, but um, it okay. It is just crazy that sometimes how Hollywood will depict these things, and when it comes to seeing certain patterns, you want to connect them. Yeah, like I mean, you want to believe that Hollywood and all these other entities basically have a script. Well, yeah, no connection, but then also you want to put in some tie in some kind of loose ends between all of it and being like, look, they're plotting something, and this is what's actually happened. They're just trying to tell us without actually telling us with movies and what will happen in real life, and it gets muddied, right? Like it is fucking wild to say the least. Now, this film was originally already shot back in 2023 and late 2022. So this stuff was already filmed before even any of the presidential stuff was going on. So they had this in the film. Um, can't discount that. Yes, that is kind of ironic that in this teaser trailer you have a assassination attempt, and then just today we had an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. So it's like, yeah, it's like, what do you say? They must know something we don't know. It's just, I'm not gonna say it's not weird. It is weird, but whatchamacallit, let's keep fucking seeing what else they got to say. Red Hulk showing up at the end of the trailer with a shield, like boom. You're looking at this. I was watching this, and literally when Ford gets shot, and at a call at I got a call from my friend telling me Trump was shot. Like this is all stuff from like a few hours ago. Some of those comments and all that. Um, Trailer predicting the future. Yup, kind of like life imitating art. Oh, Ross thinks he's Captain America. Sam, bro, thinks he's Hulk. Yikes. That's a fucking jab at the heart. Somebody saw this trailer and got inspired. It's just, oh my god, I'm telling you, today, yesterday, whatever, because I'm filming this on set on Sunday. Can't discount the irrational nature of some people where they see something on TV and then act upon it as if it's real. It's happened too much already. I'm just pointing out as well that I'm not the only one to see some kind of weird connection between it and conspiracy theorists running wild. I know, but this trailer contains spoilers for real life. Yikes! Oh my god, that that's just what some of the more recent ones are saying. Coming to you this November. Jesus Christ. Out of all the days for this to drop, yeah. No fucking kidding. At this moment, Clarence just realized it's easier defeating the Red Hulk than Eminem. Yeah, Clarence could never defeat Eminem. I'm sorry. That man just has a way with words. Every comment, mustache. You're not Steve Rogers. Yeah, that's another thing that they fucking retcon. For whatever reason, Harrison Ford just was like, you know what? I'll take the part, but I'm not growing a mustache. And I'm sure that people were just like, hey, we can't CGI a mustache on you. And Harrison Ford's like, no. but General Ross has a mustache. I don't care. I'm not him. Jesus Christ. Yeah, having a mustache increases Harrison Ford's pay raise all of a sudden. And the other crazy thing too to take note of is that when even in the comics, when the Red Hulk transforms from General Ross, he goes from having a mustache to losing the mustache when he's Red Hulk, and then when he reverts back to General Ross, he gets his mustache back. So it's like, why? Why not just give the Red Hulk the mustache? Why does he lose it when he becomes Red Hulk? And maybe they were just like, you know what? It's easier continuity to just have General Ross not have a mustache, so that when he transforms into Red Hulk, he doesn't have a mustache, and we don't have to worry about that. Like, I guess it's just kind of fucking weird and coincidental. Someone took this literally, like, oh my god. I'm just saying, goddamn people. Too on the nose with this shit. At least there's some fucking comments. This guy's an Avenger. His real name is Clarence. Oh my god. Gus went from a cartel leader to a VOT CEO to finally an MCU villain. Talk about promotions. There you go. That's what I was thinking. I knew he was a fucking. I know he's in Breaking Bad for a significant role. Just this trailer hits differently now after what just happened at the Trump rally. I'm telling you, that's all what fucking the media is filled with right now, with people, especially with Hollywood and them having the opposition against Trump and stuff like that. Like, unfortunately, this episode is just gonna have a lot of tie-ins with that because it's fresh in a lot of people's heads. It's fucking crazy that this even happened in the state of America. Uh, a lot of people are on edge and very much with super sensitive. Would you say emotions or hmm, desperation? There you go. It's I can see it both ways. Where one, you're trying to connect the dots of, hey, these people are telling you what's going to happen in the future through films or whatever, but then also there's that little bit of like conspiracy theorists where just trying to connect every little thing that happens from TV shows and movies into real life. And I understand that some people do act upon those feelings and emotions to make it a reality. It's just we can't delineate too much from what's real and what's fake, because if we keep doing that, then it's only a detriment to ourselves, and you end up empowering those people that basically believe or have that mindset that, hey, look, we have the impact to actually disrupt the political climate or the ecological economical climate, whatever, it could just etc basically. It's just fucking wild, and there's plenty of people in this fucking thing. Damn, the president got shot at. Like, it's not, I can't say it's not weird, but at the same time we have to have some kind of whatchamacallit, no, assertion of reality and fiction. Delineation. There you go. Delineation between fact and fiction, and not get caught up too much in the weeds of, hey, this happened just right now, and in this show or trailer, this happened, so they were clearly preemptively planning. Like, we gotta have a level head. Otherwise, we're just gonna be very not fearful. What is the word? You're gonna be too preoccupied with assuming there's always these things happening in these fictional stories, and then tying it into real life. Where like, look, see, they told the truth at this point, so they must have always been planning this years ahead. And obviously, like the biggest culprit I would say that a lot of people point to is The Simpsons, where they're always able to predict the future somehow. How about there's just certain things, especially in The Simpsons, where I wouldn't say it's exactly predicting the future, but so many people want to believe it so badly that they make it a reality. And that has to also be taken into account because not everybody watches everything on social media or everything on movies or whatever. And they're only, some people are just worried about work, their family, and then occasionally having a little bit of off time to watch maybe a TV show or a movie, and that's it, right? They're not seeing all these different links tied together. It's just some people don't have time for that, so they're not trying to tie everything into like, oh, this happened because of that, and clearly Hollywood or whatever is, you know, what's the word? Starts with a C. Not conversing, probably conversing. I guess we'll use that, but with political figures and other things to make that happen, like you just don't fucking know at this point. It's too wild to say the least. Yeah, and obviously going through the comments, can't believe what happened at the rally. Um, I legit thought this was a portrait of Leslie Nielsen behind Ford. My favorite part is when he stood up and proclaimed, "I'm Spartacus." That's just fucking wild. My last chance to look at me, Wilson. Harrison Ford becoming Ross is an amazing replacement. R.I.P. William Hurt. Yeah, just kind of going through the grooves of this, and for the most part, the ones that are over a day old don't have anything to do with what happened today, but they are making fun of the fact that, well, he's not necessarily our General Ross or he's not our Hulk because we only have one Hulk and that's not this guy. But yeah, as far as this movie is concerned, Deadpool and Wolverine, I think, will do amazing in the box office. This film, however, if in the first week word of mouth isn't very positive, it's gonna have a huge drop off that doesn't allow it to recover and recoup the amount of money that they've spent on this film, um, to make it what it is, right? And no fault to the cast and crew and the CGI artist and other people that are putting this film together. I'm sure you guys put in your utmost effort. It's just unfortunate when you have companies such as Disney running the show, and when certain things happen and it doesn't meet their standards, they end up just not paying the people properly, cutting seasons, cutting movies that could have had sequels, and giving those same people more work, and in turn supporting the people that help build your company and mostly the people at the bottom. You just it's a recipe for disaster. Is all I'm trying to get across. So, well, in that fucking little bit of Captain America, Brave New World. Moving on from that, we got ourselves. Oh, more fucking yawning. I know. Jesus Christ. So, we got something here. Moving on from that to the Acolyte. The Acolyte, Star Wars. Leslie Headland explains Kelnaka's big episode 7 scene. Basically, moving on from that, all the way down here to where we do actually see the explanation. Kelnaka is a very proud Jedi. Suotamo shared with EW. He's obviously completed his Jedi training, but I thought he always felt a bit of an outsider because obviously he's not human born. So that caused me to think that he's a bit of a lone wolf sort of thing. So he's with the others, but he's also mindful that he might not. But he's also mindful that he might not 100% belong with the other Jedi in that way. It's in how you carry yourself, your posture, how you move, and all those choices at this physical acting he added in the difference between playing Chewbacca and Kelnaka. It was actually Ryan Johnson when we were filming The Last Jedi. He had recommended that I watch The Silent Masters of Cinema, Charlie Chaplin, and Buster Keaton, so that I could learn more about how to show what my character is thinking and what he's doing, and I've tried to do so. So it just some of the main issues that a lot of people are taking into with the Acolyte episode 7 for Kelnaka's purpose, right? When he's starting to fight against Sol and Torben, one thing that is very clear for Wookiee characters is that they have an incredible amount of strength just naturally, right? It would be probably on the same level, if not more, of looking at the comparisons between a human and a gorilla, or even just chimpanzees. Most humans have a decent amount of strength, but then you put them against something like a gorilla or a chimpanzee, and we have no fucking chance in hell to be able to do things like that. Because when it comes to, for instance, apes, one little thing of them getting mad will cause them to blow up significantly and ruin whatchamacallit. Oh my god, my brain just froze. Yeah, not able to have at least engaging enough storytelling and make it believable in any form or fashion. It just it's crazy on how we've gotten. And then also with the Acolyte, when we're seeing Kilnaka fight against Torben, he's actually able to Torben's able to block a lightsaber stab from Kilnaka while he's possessed by the demon lady Coral, and something that should not be feasible with Torb should not be feasible for Torben to be able to block and keep at bay this super strong Wookiee, right? And especially with the Force, he would have increased speed, strength, and I guess you could say even foresight to be able to see when things are coming at him. But it's just too many. They've already allowed too much of this to kind of keep moving forward, so it's a little hard not to see it in a bad light. The Acolyte, witches. Oh, ugh. The Acolytes, witches of Brendock, really dead. Leslie Headland has a definitive answer on their fate. Let us look for this woman's uh, comment. Leslie, there you go. It was very intentional that the first two episodes set the table. They're the pilot. I felt like a good place in episode 3 to break and dig into a little bit of background, set up the mystery, and give the audience a sense that there's essentially a more ominous mystery to solve here. A couple of them, obviously, the stranger reveals that one of them, but I think that that was one of that was that was what that we, oh my god, I can't fucking read this right. But I think that was one that we weren't hiding much from the audience. It was very Weasley in the Princess Bride. Yeah, in the Princess Bride, it's more like she doesn't know what she's gonna do, you know. Uh, and for some reason, whenever it comes to all these shows, especially with Leslie Headland, after every episode, she's had to go on to an interview, an exclusive interview, and explain away her show and what just happened, so that way any backlash or criticism that is levied at her, she's able to instantaneously be like, "Oh, sorry. No, let me explain to you why this happened, so that way you can't give me any criticism or feedback of said incidences." So, yeah, like this whole thing is just fucking crazy that how far and how bad the Acolyte actually is. Like, just fucking insane, to say the least. Jeez. But that's all we got for Leslie Headland. And finally, finishing off the day and night, we got a few things here from Melanie Mack. Uh, a tweet from Destiny was going on about saying, "If we learned anything today, I hope it's realizing the importance of principle. I've stressed many times on the stream before, having a firearm means absolutely nothing if you don't spend time at the range practicing with it." So that could obviously be seen very easily as inciting violence and saying like, "Oh, you failed. Well, make sure you do better next time because we don't want that thing to happen." And then some other things to take place from this fucking thing as well, where, well, you got Byron there in the background just observing and just like, well, he's not gonna forget this fucking situation. Um, you got a few people basically showing their support of Donald Trump and whatchamacallit, the incident that happened last night or yesterday on and at Pennsylvania. It just, oh, and then you got things like this where, choose your fighter. Would you rather have the person that was able to take a bullet, oh, raise their fist in defiance and still tell the people that he's trying to speak to be like, keep fighting, keep fighting. Just, it's a fucking wild thing to play out. And then there's this stage play that they had where basically Trump's getting mobbed by a bunch of Secret Servicemen. They're just like, did not age well with what happened, because things should have been prevented, should not have gotten as bad as it was. But unfortunately, it did, and now we're at the point where, well, a lot of regular people have made up their mind of who they're voting for and what's going to happen. And then you have the people that are a little bit more delusional, being like, well, I still see no problem with this. I'm going to vote Biden. Like, it's it's just fucking crazy at this point. I think we need the whole of U.S. needs to basically take 2 years off of just nobody being in charge. I know that's not feasible, but the things that are going on is just, gee, way too fucking crazy, to say the least. Um, Two photos, same aura. This was what Trump had said. I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all the law enforcement, the rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler. Oh,
but I did no doubt from these.
Um, Pennsylvania, most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person. What is it? At the rally. Oh, sorry. I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the families of the person who was badly injured. It is incredible that such a act can't take place in our. Sorry, an event like that can't take place in our country. And then also, nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. He was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of his right ear. And then, finishing off this little quote, I knew immediately that something was wrong. in that I heard a whizzing noise and heard the gunshots when I realized when I realized then what was happening. Yeah, I'm falling asleep a little bit. I'm tired, but yeah, just this whole thing is just fucking wild to say the least. You got other news media's reporting about it, and just one last thing I'll fucking point out. Trump said he would go down in history as one of the most important leaders in this country, and today his enemies made that come true. Congratulations, assholes. Like, just, if you wanted people to support him, this ain't the way y'all should have gone about it. Or, sorry, if you did not want people to support him, this was not the way to go about it. It's clearly backfired, and whether this was staged, instigated, and things like that, it's just too hard to really tell at the moment. But for one, it just shouldn't have happened. That's all I can say. And it's unfortunate. Prayers go out to the family that had um, a loss today, and also prayers to the person that was seriously injured. It's unfortunate that you had to be the, I guess you could say, the example, and um, should not have had any kind of outcome like this. It's supposed to be was just supposed to be a nice rally, turned into a horrific scene of death and destruction because someone may have gotten their fifis a little bit too hurt and caused a whole incident like this, and then inadvertently raising this person's popularity. So, yeah, I think we're good with that. We'll go ahead and end it off there. It's a little shorter, but I'm also fucking tired as shit. So, yeah. Hey, Shinigami signing out. Let me know what y'all think down below. We will catch y'all in the next one, and hopefully for now, yeah, have a good morning, good evening, good night, and we will see you next time.